Welcome, everybody, again to the Killer Kaiju podcast. Today is episode 9. Today, we are doing a very bizarre but lovable, equally hated Godzilla film. Today, we're doing Godzilla versus Ebirah, or Ebirah, or however you really want to pronounce it. The sea monster, good enough. The giant shrimp, as we'll get to later. As always, it's I, Lucas.
Hi, hello.
And Josh. So yeah, we're about to conquer this film. This one is a good time. It's a little weird, it's a little different. We'll have a lot to talk about because there's a lot of different things going on in this film. Lots of returning actors and really cool roles, which we've been waiting for since the very first Godzilla. New director, some new people doing the soundtrack, for better or for worse. It's different though. It's a nice change of pace, so we'll dive right into it. As always, folks, this is a commentary / podcast, so you can always listen to it just as a podcast, or you can watch it along with the movie if you have a copy at home. There's a lot of different releases of this movie. It's been released many different times. So if you have Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, if you have the American cut, it's not too much of a difference. There's probably like 4 or 5 minutes shaved off, so you can probably still watch it along with us. But we are watching the original Japanese cut from the Criterion Collection. All right, and with that, we'll get started. We'll do a countdown, and we will dive right into this fantastic film.
Anus films.
Yes, anus films. So 3, 2, 1, and we're rocking. Alrighty, so the last film we watched was Invasion of Astro Monster, which was Ghidorah's second appearance. And I know last time we talked about how Toho never really uses the same monster 3 times in a row. So as we know, they used Godzilla versus Mothra. They had Mothra, and then Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. They had Mothra again, and Rodan, and then Invasion of Astro Monster. We were a little confused that Mothra wasn't in that one, but of course they didn't want to break the 3 rule. But that being said, now that we had Mothra out, Mothra is going to be in this one. So we've got Mothra in this one. So we've got really 3 monsters in this one. We've got Godzilla, as always. Which, I mean, it wasn't originally supposed to be Godzilla. We'll get into that in a bit. Mothra, and we, of course, have our new monster, Ebirah, or Ebirah, which is our sea monster and our main villain of the film. So you already notice off the bat, starting here with the credits rolling, the music sounds a lot different than last time, eh?
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's more of like upbeat, happy sounding. Not as...
Sorry, I'm still waking up.
Wake up, we got Kaiju to fight here, buddy.
I'm trying.
Open Sleep your bloody eyes.
Amazing.
I want you guys to know it's 8:30 at night, and he had a nap and he just woke up. What are we doing?
Don't expose me.
I'm exposing you. It's sad. Alrighty. So that being said, guys, this one is not directed by Ishiro Honda. This one's actually directed by Jun Fukuda, and you better get used to his work because he's going to be around for a while. For better or for worse, he directed a lot of the movies later in the Showa films. Some of them really great. Some of them are not really liked as much. Like the first 3 he did for Godzilla anyway. We've got this one, Ebirah Horror of the Deep. He does our next film we're going to watch, which is Son of Godzilla. And those 2 are really... And then he also does Godzilla versus Gigan and Godzilla versus Megalon. Those 2 are kind of, I love those 2, but Megalon's kind of known for being pretty low budget and silly. And so he's really not known for doing the best of films, but I love these ones still regardless. I like his direction. I like the change of pace. I feel like if we kept treading on with the same cliches without spicing it up a little bit, I think maybe the films would have grown stale a lot faster than they did. And obviously, I believe, he comes back in 1974 to give us one of the best Godzilla films of the Showa series, which he comes back and he directs Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, which is just a phenomenal film. So we'll definitely see him blow it out of the water with that one. But I mean, this one's just as good. So we open up here.
Set work so far.
Yeah, that's, you know what, the beautiful thing about this one, I love the colors, the sets, everything.
Flowers on the sides, everything like that.
Yeah, I believe this movie was shot in a certain type of film. It's whatever they were trying to push at the time, like super color or whatever, right? With Toho scope type deal. So it's supposed to be really colorful and vibrant, and they were trying to pitch this new film, and it does stand out from the other ones. It's definitely a lot more colorful and bright. So it already stands out between the other ones. So we open up here. The family, obviously, they're talking to the psychic, trying to see what happened to their brother, because essentially
Apparently
he
he's
went
not
missing on the
dead.
boats. Yeah, and she says that he's not dead, but yet they reported him dead because they didn't find him, and they just assumed he went away at sea. So
I
this
don't
is
know if
when
it works like that.
this one's really silly. So obviously he wants to go find his brother, so he wants to go out on the water to look for him. So he sits down in the office here and he looks up and he sees the poster and it says there's a dance marathon. And Lord behold it, the prize for the dance marathon is a
Eye
yacht.
patch man. Oh,
No, I wish it was the eye patch man, but he is in this movie.
damn right.
And this is when he comes back reprising the best role of all time. Well, it's not actually reprising the role. He's completely different, but he looks the same. Oh, can you imagine doing this? Look at that, third day. So like these people have been dancing for 3 days straight, like no sleep. Is that how it works? And they
I
just keep
assume
dancing
so.
until you fall or give up. That's crazy. I
Yeah, I'm
would
out.
die. Yeah.
The one guy in the yellow shirt.
Oh, look at him. Yeah, he's about to pass out. He's like sweating. His eyes are barely even staying straight. He's like rolling into the back of his head here. It's funny though, when they're dancing, they're like incorporating their hands moving across their forehead to like wipe the sweat off. So that way they're not as gross. That's not worth it to me. I feel like if you maximized your brain effort for 3 days, there'd be easier ways to get a yacht. As we'll learn, because we know they're not going to win. Look at him. He's like almost passed out. So we know he ain't getting no yacht. But that is A-okay. So yeah, the really interesting thing about this film, we might as well get into this a bit before we get started here. So this movie was originally supposed to be a King Kong film, surprisingly enough. So what happened was apparently there was a King Kong TV show on at the time, and this was originally being drafted to be an off-breed of that. But the story and the cinematography, it didn't really mesh with what they were doing in the TV series. So last minute, they kind of decided to put Godzilla instead of Kong. Just literally take all the parts that had Kong out and put in Godzilla. So there's a couple parts in this movie that are a little weird. You're like, I don't think that's supposed to be Godzilla, or that's not really like Godzilla. But I mean, it works. It changes it up. It makes it a little silly. This is very much a film to not be taken seriously or even to be taken into continuity with the films. It's
Fun
definitely
facts
a
with
silly
Lucas.
one. Yep, exactly. There's going to be a lot of fun facts for this one because, believe it or not, I really enjoyed this movie. This is one I watched a lot when I was a kid because I had this one I didn't have on physical, but I remember at the time it played on one of the TV channels we had all the time. It was either this, Godzilla versus Megalon, which I had on VHS, so that didn't matter to me. That was the one I actually had. And then Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, which I definitely watched because that one's the best. Let's be real here. So the music for this one is done by Masaru Sato, and for better or for worse, it's a little different. It's definitely like got like a Caribbean theme. Like you can definitely tell like it's a Kong movie, right? They were definitely going for a different feel, and they don't really use the Godzilla theme. And it's funny enough, he also did he was the composer for Raids Again, the second Godzilla film, which didn't really have a lot of music in it at all. It was a very empty sounding movie. It was kind of more about the visuals, and like we said, it was a rushed film. So we really didn't get a hold of what his composure was really like. So we didn't really know. But now that we have a film where he actually is playing his music and actually composing the score himself for this film, you can actually start to hear his own style come through. And I tend to like some of his stuff. It's all right. It's a little goofy, but for better or for worse, it's interesting. I definitely still like Ifukube's soundtracks, but so these guys, what happens is, so they lose the dance competition. So they go down to the marina and they're just looking at boats, and they just like hop in a boat just to check it out, and they hop in this one boat. And of course the guy's in there, obviously. So he's like, he wakes up, these three guys are just randomly in his boat. So you're like, why would he be okay with that? So you already kind of know something's different about this guy. Plus on their way here, they heard on the radio about a thief who stole something. So you're thinking, what if this guy, this guy is the thief, obviously. Otherwise, why would this guy just let them on the boat, right? He had a fake rifle. He doesn't know how to use the boat. He was literally just using the boat as a hideout while he was trying to lay low.
Feels. Imagine just like coming out and just being like, "Oh shit, I'm at sea." I would honestly lose it. I don't like open water, so
Yeah, no, I'd be no freaking way. See, it's a gift from the gods. Because now this guy
I
wants
don't
to go
know
find
about
his
that.
brother. So he's like, it was meant to be. I'm like, I wouldn't mess with that guy. He had a gun pointed at you not too long ago. Yeah, he knows nothing about boats. Luckily, this guy does. Yeah, no, I would not be okay with being out on the water. That's for sure. No way, Jose. So yeah, this film has had many different names. So it's originally in the title in Japanese, it translates to when it first got released. The name of the film was actually Godzilla, Ebirah, Mothra, Great Duel in the South Seas. That's a long ass name. In the States, it was just translated to Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Just keep it simple. And honestly, that makes a little more sense because yes, Mothra's in this movie, but she's not really in it a lot. She's more referenced, and then she makes a small appearance once in a while. She's not really a big player in it. So it kind of sounds silly to throw her name in the title. See here you see the 4 million yen stolen from a safe. And then he's like, the suspect hasn't been caught. And then he turns off the radio like he doesn't want to listen to it. Red
It was
flags.
him.
Red
No, well,
flags.
no shit. I would have looked at him and been like, I want half.
So that's okay because they are all in for a rude awakening on what's coming to them. I do like this one because it's kind of like an adventure film, you know, like three guys set up sea, they get caught in some trouble, and then like they end up in a place where they're not supposed to be. It's not like some grand alien invasion or like, you know what I mean, or some big monster attack. It's just people on a voyage trying to do the right thing, having a good time, running into some trouble. It's a nice little change of pace for the movies than what we normally get. So I definitely enjoyed this one.
Dun, 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 dun.
They got stocks of food though. It's a good thing whoever lived on this boat has a lot of food. So here he tells them, yeah, we're going to look for his brother. He's like, yeah, he's alive. I know it. The 27 lost as fishing boat sinks in storm, but the psychic says that he's alive. But they think he's crazy. They're like, well, if it went down, they're done for. In what hope would you think they're alive? You know, these guys are just dumb. They don't even know where they're going. They could literally just be out there and then they just starve to death, get heat stroke, and die, and you would have never even known.
Should probably
Oh,
try and
Quaker.
find an island or something.
You just slowly see that. That's a cool shot, actually. I never noticed that. They just show the
Like-
cupboards and the food slowly is emptying, like they're losing their rations.
They still got Hershey's powder in there.
Oh, that's all you really need.
A little bit of water, bing bang boom,
Instant chocolate
and cigarettes.
and cigarettes. That's the main important thing.
This is a good time. Chocolate and cigarettes. Sounds like a good morning to me.
I wouldn't be smoking in the cabin though. Like you have like infinite
No,
air.
I mean,
just
I would
up on the
go
deck,
outside. Yeah, exactly. I just go outside. Why wouldn't you? It's nice and sunny.
right? I was like, why is he smoking in the bottom? That's just fucking ignorant. See now he's like, we have to get back to land. Skeleton key. You have your girlfriends and I have this.
I thought he was just jealous there for a minute. You have your girlfriends and I don't.
No,
I have a key.
he's a master thief. So not only he turned off the radio and they talked about the thief. He says he's a master thief. Like, he's not lining this up. If he's trying to keep it a secret, he's definitely stupid at this point. Oh, and what have they spotted now? This can never be good. Oh, storm clouds. We all know how these end. People at sea, when a storm comes, that doesn't end well. It does not bode well, or should I say, boat well. All right, tough crowd.
No.
Hey, at least they got life jackets. Yeah, no, this is not going to last. They're done for.
Wilson.
And surprise cameo appearance by Tom Hanks. No, I don't even think Tom Hanks would. No, Tom Hanks would be alive by now. Nope, probably not, actually. Good question. So this movie is 1966. So Tom Hanks was born in 1956. So he was 10 years old. So I doubt it was Tom Hanks.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think 10-year-old Tom Hanks could survive, especially without Wilson.
He would try.
Oh, that's starting to snap, and they're done for. See, at that point, the helm's busted. They might as well just die because there's no way they're getting home. Oh, I love these shots. These are actually really good shots. I do love all the
I
shots.
thought it was a
of the ground.
whale.
It's a giant claw. Like, that's a really good practical effect. Like, that looks really good. All the water shots look really good in this movie. I definitely think there's a huge step up in quality for the special effects on this film for sure. Which is interesting because it's Subaraya still, but they have they have another person on as well for the special effects. Arakawa. I don't know if I'm probably butchering that. Sorry, guys. But he, I think, just did this movie. This is the only one he ever did. He was assistant special effects for Raids Again, the original Godzilla, and Rodan. But this is the one where he was really like working side by side with the special effects. But he also did a lot of Ultraman stuff. Like he did Ultraman, Ultra Q, Ultra 7. Apparently he did Son of Godzilla, so he'll help on the next film. And he also helped on Destroy All Monsters.
Something tells me that ship didn't last.
Oh, no. Hey, but you know what? At least they all washed ashore on the same island. That's lucky.
For now.
For now. Yeah, they're done for. Man, can you imagine like let alone getting stranded on like a boat and then being almost drowned? And he's excited about being on an island. Yeah, you're on an island, but who says it's habitable? Who says there's anything to eat on this island? You know what I mean? Like, you're not saved. You're just screwed in a different place.
I just think he's happy he didn't drown, because I mean, I would be. Drowning sounds way more scarier. I'd rather wake up on this place and be like, okay.
Honestly, I just would have rather died. Oh,
don't want to put it in
the briefcase, and it's empty. So he lost all his money. Just like that. Yeah, it's time to start exploring. Don't waste your time. Because once you get to an island, like that's the first thing you should do. By the way, little fun fact: if you ever get stranded on the island, the first thing you do is get to the highest point, survey the area, and make sure you survey the island. It's the first thing you do. Don't waste time, because you want to survey the island to get a map of it for food, resources, if there's anybody else on the island, and like for sun direction, obviously to stay alive. If there's animals on the island, you want higher ground. It's just the smartest thing is to get to high ground. That way you can survey the island and plan out your strategy, because every second counts when you're on an island, right? For food, water, depending on like if you get dehydrated, like it's important. So time is of the essence. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, I mean, unless if you can't rock climb.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Oh, there's just a knife.
A sword. He's just got cannibals. I like how he finds like a scimitar sword, and the first thing he thinks is cannibals. And surprise, this is now turned into Cannibal Holocaust, guys.
I'm in.
See, but this is why. See, they went to high ground. They found palm trees and food. So now they're going to be able to immediately eat and hydrate so they can keep exploring. But that's a lot of food. Look at all the bananas they just ate. If they were really smart, they would have saved it, portioned their rations. So don't listen to these guys in that sense. That's for sure.
They're going to be constipated for days.
Yep.
It's a lot of banana.
Or they're going to be shitting for days, one or the other, depending on how their body takes it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Banana's good pooping diet. Banana, rice, all that jazz. That's how you bet pooping. Some bran fiber.
Bran.
But yeah, you know what's funny too? I think there's some sets in this movie, but like the when we were watching Mothra, I think it was Mothra, a lot of it looked like it was shot on location. Like this looks like a lot of it was shot on location. Here we go. Spraying the pee. Literally, when I watched this as a kid, so these boats are pulling into the harbor and they're spraying this yellow liquid out into the bay. For those who aren't watching, and as a kid, I always thought it was urine. I just thought they were spraying pee. I was like, why are you spraying yellow liquid into the water? And I
It
never
keeps
understood
the
it.
monsters away.
Yeah, that's and we'll find that out a lot later. But yeah, it's exactly what it's doing. It's keeping most of the monsters at bay there.
Most.
Yeah, that's the keyword most.
Look at that nice painted rock.
Ooh. See, they went to high points and look at all the stuff they found. This is why you go to the highest point. So there's some real shady military shit going on here. They've got a dock, a lookout, guns, electric fences. Looks like a prison. So all that, and then they start screaming and waving to the boat. And it's like now after seeing that, I bet they kind of regretted that because maybe these guys aren't so nice. Because Lord behold, these are international waters. So
Eye patch, man.
who's that? And he's wearing an eye patch, but on the
His
other
eye
eye.
patch is way cooler in this one.
Yeah, he's got like a golden tiger or dragon on it.
I think it's a dragon.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Like Godzilla,
So he is the leader
Gojira.
of our terrorist group, I guess we'll call them, on this island here, and they are called the Red Bamboo, the name of their organization. And I don't know if they pulled up there and they started unloading prisoners. I don't know if they looked familiar to you, but they definitely looked like a lot of the native island folk from Godzilla versus Mothra.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I just wasn't too sure on that one.
Some of them are still a little black-faced, but it's getting better. They're moving away from it slowly. We do have one other returning actor, dare I say it, actress too as well. See if you can spot her and spot which character she was in, or which movie she was in, and which character she played. We'll see when we get a shot of her, but that girl right there. So that's Dio. She's going to be one of our main characters we're introduced to here. Smart cookie, though. So the other guys run to grab the raft and make a run for it, and everyone starts chasing them. And then she sneaks behind the other way. Smart girl. You can already tell that's why she's going to be the main character, because she's a smart cookie.
I like cookies.
These guys, this is a really cool. I really love this practical effect here. One, it's great because it looks good still. It still holds up today with the remaster and the enhanced visuals that we're watching. So we're watching this in HD. These are the digitally remastered ones. And it's a full daytime shot and it still looks this good. It blows my mind. Like those are miniatures, but it still looks good.
Can you imagine trying to like boil this guy and eat him?
Oh, you'd be feeding forever.
Red Lobster would be so happy.
Now, what would you call Ebirah here? So here we get the shot of like a really good shot of our villainous kaiju here. Ebirah. What would you call it? Crab, lobster, shrimp? It's a shrimp, right? It looks like a shrimp to me. That's what I would say it is. That's what he's kind of quoted as a shrimp. So
kind of like a weird lobster thing.
This is cool though. He actually picks the people up. Look how it actually looks so good. That shot's rough, but the other one is really good. I also like how they were realistic too. A lot of crustaceans and creatures with claws, like crabs, they have one claw that's always bigger than the other one. So I like that Ebirah has that same deal going. His right claw is really big while his left one's smaller. I like that. It's a nice touch. They could have easily just made two of the same prop, but they really went out of their way to make two different sized arms. I like that.
He looks like a crayfish.
Yeah, he's literally quoted as a shrimp, but like he definitely looks like a mashup of different crustaceans.
Yeah. Send up a search balloon.
Like literally from our online Bible here, our Godzilla Bible, the Wikizilla site. By the way, guys, if you ever want any information on these films, a lot of our facts and a lot of our stuff we get is from Wikizilla. I also do a lot of articles and a lot of documentary information that way, but a lot of it you can find on Wikizilla. And on Wikizilla, it says that he goes by Ebirah, but he can also go by the sea monster, Ebirah, giant shrimp monster, huge shrimp monster, and horror of the deep. Yeah, but his species is just limited to and labeled as a giant crustacean.
This literally looks like a Brazers video is about to happen.
So he's 50 meters in height and he's 60 meters long, and he weighs 23,000 metric tons.
Damn, he a big boy.
He a thick boy. But clearly no match for Godzilla. Let's be real here. As we'll find out. So here now we have officially our full cast of main characters. So we obviously have What is that? Is it Kong coming in on the balloons? No, I wish.
For a second there, I got excited.
I know. Well, it seems like it should be a Kong movie. I mean, I get why they went with Godzilla because they were trying. They didn't want to ruin what they had going with Kong in their TV show, and I bet that like they wanted to save it for future stuff. But I thought it would have made sense because I think Kong and Mothra would make a really good duo.
Probably just didn't want to overdo it at the time. If they already had the series going, it's just like a flood of Kong.
Yeah, I guess. And they would have maybe had to make a new suit too, and they didn't want to damage the show suit. So they might as well just use Godzilla because the Godzilla suit that's used in this one is the Dyson Sogoji suit, which is the one they first used in the last movie. They made it for Invasion of Astro Monster, and then they use it in this movie. And in this one, they used it so much in the water, the suit started to deteriorate and fall apart. So after this movie, they only use this suit in future movies for publicity stills and swimming scenes because it's already water damage, so they don't have to worry about it because it's used in Son of Godzilla in the next movie for water scenes and swimming scenes, and then Destroy All Monsters, same thing. He's used in swimming scenes. And then in Godzilla versus Hedorah, he's also used in swimming scenes and some of the sludgy scenes where he gets really dirty and stuff like that, so they don't ruin the current suit. And in some of them, it looks really awkward.
Backups.
So,
no, the clone troopers are coming.
In the next one, Son of Godzilla, the suit they make for the actual Godzilla that's on land looks drastically different from this suit. So it really looks awkward when you see him in the swimming scenes from afar, and you really look and you're like, that looks nothing like the Godzilla that we just saw a minute ago.
Because it's not.
Because it's not. But oh, smart of them though. They dip down behind the cliff, pull like the classic Lord of the Rings. I don't know if anyone's seen Lord of the Rings, but when
what
they're being chased and they hide
underneath.
If you
haven't seen,
that's
no. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, watch Lord of the Rings.
Yes, absolutely. When they're hiding from the riders there, and they're underneath, and they're just creeping over the logs, and they're all hiding underneath the log. That's exactly kind of what that scene reminds me of. When they drop down into the cave system there.
I'm also secretly calling out Jill.
Oh, she hasn't seen Lord of the Rings?
No. Bullshit.
You know what? The Lord of the Rings films are great, but I feel like you definitely have to sit down and experience them. If you just watch them like you're going to watch any other movie, you might have a hard time sticking to it. You really got to get into it. So I understand why some people maybe haven't seen them yet, but for people who just refuse to watch it, come on, just get into it one day. You have a little fun, let your imagination run free, enjoy a good film and a good experience. So going back to our main character here, Dio, our female lead here. So have you recognized her? Does she look familiar to you at all? She looks very different from the role she normally is in. So there she is there. There's a good face shot.
Is she either one of the little ones or the Venus girl?
I'm going to blow your mind here. So that actress is...
I can't put my finger on it.
Kumi Mizuno, who was our lead in the last film, the alien who was with Nick Adams, who had the affair with Nick Adams in real life. That is her.
Yeah.
But she's obviously blackface, and she's not pasty white, and she has a completely different hairdo. She has long hair now rather than the kind of bowl cut short bob she had going on before. But yeah, and that just honestly proves how great of an actress she is, to think about how she acted in the last one, like how she's portraying her character here. She's definitely very separated herself. Like if you hadn't have known, like I didn't know for the longest time, and I would have never guessed that. Like it really doesn't look like her. She does a phenomenal job portraying even like her facial expressions, how she holds and carries herself. You can see in the other one, she was very upright and like kind of like, dictatorish, because she was kind of controlled by a computer. So she was very like robotic and, proper. And then in this one, she's more whimsical and mystical, and she kind of has more of a hunch to her posture. She really changes just the way she does everything.
I'm just digging this guy's yellow jacket.
Yeah. I love the colors in this film too. Like everything's just so bright and vibrant. It's just something about the way this film looks.
Bananas.
So now we kind of get what's going on here. So what the Red Bamboo is doing is they're kidnapping the natives from Mothra's Island, from Infant Island, and they're bringing them to this base here to help them produce the liquid to control Ebirah. That way they can keep them off and out of their way. Which, I mean, it's kind of contradicting itself. If you didn't steal the natives and weren't on that island, you wouldn't have to use the liquid. But I guess they're probably conducting some pretty shady shit, and they need to have something to protect the island so that way no one knows they exist. So that's why they have Ebirah, because that would just take down a boat and no one would ever see them again. That's probably what happened to the fishing boat that their brother was on, right? So I guess that's maybe the reasoning behind it, but it still seems like it's kind of contradicting itself. Why not just pick a more secluded island and not have to worry about it? And just leave the people of Infinite Island alone, because eventually Mothra is going to get pissed. You know what I mean?
Not if they dance.
I guess. So here we have them all summoning. Here's an example of when backdrops don't work. So that's obviously a painted mural. So they're all dancing, kind of summoning to Mothra, and it's all like set work. And then the back is just a painted mural, a giant Mothra. Now, without the digitally enhanced, it would work. Now that's a real shot. That's just the Mothra costume sitting on a rock. But the other one was just like a painted backdrop, and it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, like it looks good, especially if it wasn't enhanced, it would look a lot better. But there's some phenomenal uses of painted backdrops. Like think about Star Wars. Like, do you know how much of the scenes in the original Star Wars films, like the old ones, were just painted backdrops and scenes? Like a lot of it was. And if you guys ever want to know like really cool and see really cool special effects back in the day where were super revolutionary, go and watch some documentaries on how the Star Wars movies were done. That's some truly mind-blowing shit. How they were able to do everything, do the lightsabers, even the flying scenes, like the Hoth battle and stuff like that. Just incredible, because it's all miniature work still, but the way they pulled it off was unbelievable. And like a lot of the scenes where, you saw the Empire like walking and you saw hundreds of soldiers, those were literally backdrops painted by hand. And then they just digitally edited in the frame of them coming off the ship, and they put it all together. So that way it looks like one massive landscape, but there's still moving parts in it. Absolutely brilliant. I wish that these movies had the kind of budget that American films did back then, but at the same time, I don't, because these carry this special kind of like, like we worked with what we had. Yeah. And the fact that they were able to make it this incredible with the budget they had is just even more mind blowing. Oh, and here we discover
Mothra.
Godzilla.
Oh.
So this is funny. So they go down into this cave where they hid out, and Godzilla's just laying on a bunch of rocks sleeping. That seems like something Kong would be doing, no?
Maybe.
Just sleeping
Godzilla
in a cave
likes
on
to
rocks.
sleep, I'm just saying.
But Godzilla sleeps in water.
Godzilla just likes sleep.
So there's lots of scenes in this
Godzilla.
movie where you're just obviously like, yeah, this is supposed to be King Kong. This makes no sense. I love this scene so much. So they're trying to sneak up to the base, and they've built this kind of like, old school, like where you have a bush and you walk with the bush and then sit with the bush so they can't be seen. And they have that going on. And then this one woman's just holding a pigeon. And I'm like, why is she just holding a pigeon? That makes absolutely no sense. But
what, you can't have a pet pigeon?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could use it like, I don't know. I just find it silly that like
pigeon.
What if it decides to fly off and then you're alerted? I don't know.
Then your pigeon's a dick.
The pigeon totally makes sense why she has. We'll see why the pigeon's necessary in a minute. But like, it's just funny because they give no explanation to why the pigeon's there. It just cuts to the scene. They're sneaking up, and this girl has a pigeon. It's just a
pigeon.
It's just so funny. So they start sneaking up. I mean, why are they breaking into the base? I know they're trying to rescue the other people, but like that's literally a whole military operation, guys. What are you gonna do? Oh, here we go.
Pigeon at them.
So they got the searchlights on the fake bush now, because they saw the bush move, and now they're all like, "Oh, what is it?" And now she's gonna release the pigeon.
They heard that one idiot fall.
Yeah. So they're like, "Oh, it was a pigeon." See?
It's smart. It's genius.
Just throws the pigeon. Oh, see, it was a pigeon. And then they're like, "Oh, it must have been a pigeon." But you know what? If she didn't have that pigeon, that would have been the end of the movie right there. They just would have turned the turrets on the bush and killed them all. Movie over.
I like it.
All right, bedtime.
Good ending. Now that's how you film 3 movies in one sitting.
Exactly. So they're going to continue breaking in anyway, though. So now they've gone back to their patrols. So they're obviously going to still try and break in. But I do like usually with the characters we usually have a journalist, a scientist, a military dude, a politic guy. But in this one, we get a lot of different characters. Like, we get the Islander, we get the brother who's lost it, the brother who's looking for his other brother, the 2 nerdy friends, and then you get a thief. Like, we're getting some different characters that we normally don't get in a Godzilla movie. So that's the one saving grace that is different about this film. Is that
Come
we get
on,
some
no love interest.
no love interest. Exactly. I mean, you could beg to differ that maybe some of them want to get up on Dio, but that's not at all part of the story at all. There's no romance
casting
going on.
couch.
Yeah, exactly. Casting. Wow, look at that Star Wars window right there.
You were using sets.
Oh, it's a cool set though. The light shines on and you can see through it. You thought it was just like a plastered wall, right? But how's he gonna get through this one?
It's Spider-Man.
He's a master thief. He can do anything. Of course, it's a door that opens. Why wouldn't it be? Safe cracking must be easy work. It just looks that way to amateurs. Absolutely. If you're good at something, it should look easy, right? So I'm trying to see if they have reused the sets in this one, but I don't think so. If anything, they might reuse these sets in future movies, but I think this is all fresh sets for this. Another cool thing about this movie, no stock footage. These are all new footage for this movie. So at least that's one saving grace. No stock footage in this film.
I like those elevators.
Right. At least they went to the effort to actually make a working elevator. That, or it's just a door, and then they had kind of like a paper insert with the look of the elevator, and then they just pulled
the
it
front
down.
part.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
That's probably what they did, and then they just stepped off screen behind the prop set there. Man, they're doing pretty good though. They've snuck completely in this base. Like, their security must suck. But I doubt they have a lot of people ever breaking onto the island because no one can even get to the island. But at this point, they know there's people on the loose, so
they're definitely bowling pins.
Definitely.
They're
or are
at
they?
The wall.
Smoke bombs. Oh, hell yeah. Of course they'll be useful. Smoke bombs all the way.
Where are you going to hide them? Oh, I know one place.
Whoop. This is a nice little touch here. She just picks up something, puts it around her neck. Oh, yeah, this looks nice. But we know everything happens for a reason. She had that pigeon earlier. She was going to use it. She picked up that wiring to put around her neck as a necklace. There's a reason for that. Everything happens for a reason. I do love, honestly, I really do love that Ahiko Harada came back to play the captain of the Rambaboo in this movie. I like that he gets a villainous. Yeah, he gets more of a. I think this is his first villainous role. I mean, in the first one, he kind of plays a mad scientist, but he's definitely the good guy because he sacrifices his life for Godzilla to kill Godzilla and for the better of humanity. But in this one, I think this is the first time he plays a villain. One of the 2 times he does, well, that's debatable because in one of the later films, he plays an older man who's being used and he's kind of a kook, but he ends up kind of doing the right thing in the end, but he's still kind of villainous. But this is one where he's just straight up a villain.
You noticed that the girl had 2 smoke bombs beforehand and now she's only got 1. Where's the other one?
Where'd she put it?
Where'd she put it? Stop her butt.
Well, where else would you put it? That just seems like the right place. Man, it's a good thing this every door is used with like the same type of safe and like stuff like that he could crack at home because he's just being able to crack into everything. You think if they were a high-tech like terrorist group, they would have had a little bit more security on their doors than just a regular old coded safe lock.
Nah, they're adult Goonies.
I like all the use of. There's a lot of red and yellow in this movie, like a lot of yellow, but a lot of red and yellow. Giving us the kind of that Star Trek theme we were talking about in the last movie. Gives us that Star Trek kind of look with all the yellow and red. Oh, here they go. He cracked the safe. And they managed to sneak in too. And then they run out. It's an atomic chamber. So I love that. So they crack the safe, they go in, and he just starts holding his head and screaming, going, and they go, it's a radioactive chamber.
Probably shouldn't have broken into that.
They have brain cancer now. If you come into contact with a radioactive core that close, like there's a reason it's hid by like a freaking, there was easily like a 3-foot lead safe door between them and the radiation chamber. And they literally walked right into the room and stood in it for more than 3 seconds. So they're done. They're going to start growing some extra limbs. Probably not the smartest thing to do. Oh,
well, there's some nice boots.
And of course, they belong to our red bamboo captain, Shirazawa here.
With a nice eye patch.
Yep, you guys are done for now. Unless you pull some action shit right here.
Yep. Smoke bomb.
And there's the smoke bomb. Smart, though. And now they have no idea where they went.
I don't even know where I went.
Smoke bomb and run. I just love how everything is just so coincidental that they're able to get away every time. And all of a sudden now they're this is just such a ridiculous fucking movie. So like they don't explain how they get away, and now they're just in lab coats, so they look like they work there, and they're carrying these 2 metal sheets. And these guys are like, oh yeah, looks completely normal.
Oh yeah, so normal.
Yeah, they don't look suspicious at all. And now that they looked back, these metal sheets are just held up perfectly, like they're just able to stand there. Yeah, I would get in there because they're gonna start firing. Whoa. Yeah, I'd like to point out the bullets went through the sheet metal there, and these guys all have horrible aim. They must all be stormtroopers.
I told you.
Stormtroopers for days. Oh, here we get one of those weather balloons there. Oh, and they're caught. But
well,
one brother is on it still, though. He's getting away. Wouldn't you be more scared to be on that? Like, what if it goes out into the ocean and then you just go into the ocean again?
Way she goes, boys.
I'd be terrified. I mean, let's be honest, though, at this point, he'd be dead or he's on the balloon going to die. I'd rather at least live for a little longer and have a chance, I guess. So they just got the one guy. The other 2 guys got away. So right now, the thief,
abandon them.
The one character, and Dio are okay. The other guy's been taken. And then the brother is floating away on a balloon. So now all of our main protagonists have all been split up. And here comes one of the silliest decisions of this movie. Because at this point, what are they going to do? You might as well, wake up Godzilla.
Yeah, that's fair. Throw rocks at him.
You're going to die and get killed, or you're going to wake up Godzilla and he's going to stop everybody, and then maybe you'll die or maybe you'll live. So at least there's some odds there. I would wake up Godzilla. Ooh. The funniest thing too about this, and we'll see how Godzilla comes back, why it seems like it, but so this movie, for some reason, whenever the Godzilla movies, especially the Showa era ones, when they were released in Germany, do you know what they translated Godzilla's name to?
Giant lizard.
Keep going. Take another guess.
I don't know.
Frankenstein.
No, that's not correct, my friend.
Nope. So let me just find the exact name here. Yeah. So in Germany, this movie was released and called Frankenstein and the Monsters from the Ocean. That was the name of this movie in Germany.
They tried.
And then in Lebanon, it was called Return of Godzilla. And I'm like, I wonder how many Return of Godzillas Lebanon has then. Oh, I love it. I don't know. What would you prefer? Do you prefer Ebirah Horror of the Deep or Godzilla versus Ebirah Horror of the Deep? Sorry. Or do you prefer Godzilla versus the Sea Monster?
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, yeah. Because it actually has the creature's name. I've always been a
Sounds
big
more
fan of the
dramatic.
verses. Yeah. Ebirah, Horror of the Deep sounds much better.
Like I want to see like, Godzilla versus two-headed shark attack bullshit,
Godzilla
versus a
versus
flying
Sharktopus.
spaghetti monster. Yeah, exactly.
Godzilla versus Tusk.
Oh, please.
Justin Long, you can take him on. Let's go.
It's literally just Justin Long trying to fight him in a
Woo!
costume. Yeah, like that'd be terrible.
But like
God.
just have it so like he's in the Tusk suit and then Godzilla's in a Godzilla suit, so it looks like Tusk is just as big, like a kaiju, and then they're just fighting in a pool of water. I want that in my life. I'll see now. So they're still praying to Mothra here.
This movie's got some bangers in it.
Oh yes. Yo, I want you guys to know, for those who aren't listening to, I listen to these soundtracks like on the daily. Like when I'm playing games, like I'm not bumping like Drake. I'm not bumping like
Wow.
Cattle Decapitation or anything. You know what I'm bumping? I'm bumping the Mothra
Phantom
theme
of the
song,
Opera.
Jet Jaguar theme song, the main Godzilla theme, and pretty much the entire Showa soundtracks. That's what I'm bumping almost all the time.
No Mothra?
Oh yeah. The Mothra
Just
theme.
the Mothra,
sure.
just the Mothra theme over and over again for like 3 hours.
Mothra. Mothra. Oh, surprise, motherfucker. They're all doing their dance, and then the guy who got away on the balloon just drops right into the middle of the dance.
I like how the balloon drops on him.
And look who it is. His brother.
Oh, that's the dude that got lost on the ship. Okay.
Yeah. So he ended up when the boat went down, he ended up swimming to Infant Island. So he ended up becoming one of the tribespeople with on Mothra's Island there. So it's a good thing that he hopped on the balloon because he ended up finding his brother.
Now we're all together again and it's a good time.
Now he's like, but I've been away from home too long. I've become a new person. I don't know who I am anymore. No, it's not that story. He knows exactly who he is. He's going back home. He's like, oh yeah, I want noodles at McDonald's. Why would I stay here? I watched a kid on the internet today in a viral video use a McDouble as a pipe, and I don't think I can ever unsee it in my head again. And then he ate a bite of it after he smoked out of it, and that's when I almost threw up, and I didn't want to watch it anymore. That's our non-Godzilla gross fact for the day, guys. Off-topic fact. So now the military is the soldiers of the Rambamboo are getting really close to our 3 protagonists who are left on the island here. So at this point, they're really starting to decide to wake him up. Can't wake up.
Wake him up inside.
Save us.
Wake him.
Save us from the red bamboo before we die.
See? It's a banger.
Evanescence, please don't sue us.
Fuck them.
See, they need to wake up Godzilla. This is how you do it. We want kaijus. Wake him up.
Wake him up.
Wake up. Wake up. This is not a hallucination.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Mitch was still around, I'm sure he would agree. See? Now this necklace is going to come in handy because it just so happens to be copper wire, which conducts electricity. So did you notice every prop they found now? So they found smoke bombs, a pigeon, a necklace, and a sword. And the only things that haven't been used yet were the necklace and the sword. So what are they going to use to wake up Godzilla? The necklace and the sword.
So Godzilla can throw the rocks.
Yeah.
It'd be like they can throw the rocks at him, but Godzilla's got to throw some rocks.
I love how they just put the sword up on the mountain. They're like, hopefully it gets hit by electricity. And then they tie the wire around the sword and lead all the way down, and they just put it right into his mouth.
It's just doing a lot.
Gonna give him some shock therapy.
What a dick. I would not want to wake up like that.
See, he's like, now I'm using my brains. This is a smart idea what this guy does here. I'm surprised they didn't think of it before. So they're going to use different fruit instead. So they're going to make a phony batch of the stuff. So that way, when they go to use the liquid, it doesn't work. And Ebirah will just attack their ship. Like, why did they not
pee
do
in
that
it.
from the beginning?
Pee in it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Everyone
pee.
just start pee. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why.
Now turn it into pee.
That's how it's pee. That's funny. That's really funny, actually. That's why I always thought it was pee. They're like, well, what do we? It needs to be yellow. What are we gonna fill the fake batch with? Pee.
Why not?
They're and then when they
Easy
use
to
they're gonna be
get.
like, you're in for a treat now.
Oh God, that was a terrible pun.
It's what you get. It's what y'all signed up for listening to this podcast.
No one signed up. I guess you did when you signed up to
If you
Spotify,
followed
though.
or subscribed, yeah, that's what you get. That's just the way she rolls.
I'm totally gonna take this moment to plug our merch. Buy it.
Absolutely, yeah. So
That's all.
Blankets, mugs, shirts, all of the above. We'll be making stickers soon to send out to you guys. We also got some more cool figure things in the work as well. Stay tuned
We
to
like
our
toys.
Facebook and stuff like that for more updates on that. Ooh, so it's been 3 days at this
Georgie
point.
boy over here.
3 days. Are they not? What have they eaten?
Wait. They've just been sitting in this cave for 3 days waiting for electricity to happen
Yeah.
in hopes that it'll wake up Godzilla.
Well, they said it's been 3 days since lightning hit. So since the storm, it's been 3 days.
Oh,
They've been on the island for 3 days.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, you could probably just start peeing on Godzilla.
There's the clouds. Here we go. Nature's on their side. We all know it was Mothra. Mothra's like, yeah, fish is gonna rain. Get my big boy
The clone
up.
troopers.
Oh yeah. They're like, head back. We're not gonna get stuck in this storm. Okay, they turned around. So take the wire out of Godzilla. Don't wake him up. Nah, still wake him up. We want that good ending. Here we go. So the two brothers now are trying to row back from Infant Island. Oh, and they lost their oar. Luckily, they've got the liquid to keep Ebirah at bay here.
They're bottles of pee.
Yeah, they're literally their pee. No, that's the real batch. Oh, but now it's lost. Damn. Now it's worried because now,
man.
what if
Try and
Ebirah
eat 'em.
shows up? They've lost their juice now. I'd say pedal faster.
I can make more juice for you.
And just pee overboard. Oh, here we go. We get this Jason Voorhees Frankenstein-esque awakening of Godzilla. There's a really cheesy shot of his eye opening here. I think you'll love.
This is basically that scene when it turns into zombie Jason with
And
like
Jason
the
lives.
electricity. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
He goes to make sure he's dead. He's like, I gotta make sure. And then he stabs him with the pole, and then the electricity hits the pole and brings him back.
Idiot.
Dumbass. Way to go, Tommy. Oh, and here comes Ebirah. They're screwed now.
The giant crayfish.
Giant shrimp. Oh. But you know what? Luckily, we're gonna have some help from a little friend. Actually, little is an
help
understatement.
from my friend.
Little help from a big friend.
So they get by.
Yeah, I would say if the lightning's gonna hit that and go and wake him up, I would get the hell out of that cave. Ah, here he goes.
Now we're finally getting some Godzilla action.
Here we go. But see, it definitely, this comes back to why it should be a Kong film, because Kong is, uses lightning in the Toho series a lot. So like the lightning would have woken him up. I mean, it wakes Godzilla up too, but you can definitely still tell this was meant to be a Kong script. You know what I mean?
Can't
I'm
have
kind of
King
glad
Kong.
it wasn't though, because remember how bad the Kong suit looked in water? Can you
Dry
imagine if
rat.
that was like the big fight in the water and that's what he looked like? Like, no, thank you. Oh, here we go. He's starting to emerge. There's my big boy. The big G has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. The big G has arrived. I'm a fan of this suit. I actually like it. I definitely like the later Showa films, like the Showa suits, but this one's not bad. I really dislike the next suit they use for Son of Godzilla. I do not like that suit whatsoever.
Did they use the same suit in this one as the last one? Because
Yep.
it looks pretty much the same.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
The issue was after this one, this is the movie that kind of destroyed this suit because there was so much water shots because he's about to fight Ebirah in the water, obviously, right? So this suit got pretty wrecked from being in all these water shots.
The little bit of surfing music in the background.
Oh, I love the surfer music in this.
Like fucking Beach Boys in the background.
Literally. This fight is really silly.
Nice if we were older.
Oh, rock fight. Oh, he catches it and he throws it back and then he hits it again. And then he almost crushes the other two. But if it wasn't for Godzilla, if you think about it, if it wasn't for them waking up Godzilla, the two brothers that were coming back would have probably died. So it was meant to happen. See, now they're all coming back together. I still love this. Like, Godzilla's really trying to kick his ass here, but see how he's just throwing rocks? Clearly a Kong thing. Now they're playing catch with the rock.
Well, like I was saying earlier, the humans didn't throw the rocks because Godzilla's got to throw the rocks.
He's like, yeah, you caught it. I win.
You're out. You're out. You're out.
Oh, he's like, round 2. Godzilla's like, nah, fuck this game, bro. He just yeets the rock and it takes out their main commissions tower.
Just use atomic breath. Cook them alive.
Right? I mean, that's what we're waiting for. We know he could finish this off easily. But I love when Ebirah, watch this. Ebirah's like, oh yeah, you think you're tough? And I love how Ebirah winds up for like this ultimate move. And all he does is like splash Godzilla. Look at, yeah, eat that, Godzilla. He splashes him and then Godzilla just vaporizes him with his atomic breath.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, exactly. Like,
and end of fight.
Alive, basically.
There is one thing I do really love about this. Like, I do love the outfit and the suit for Ebirah. I definitely think it's awesome. But one cool thing they really added into this one, which is a first for the Godzilla films, is underwater fights. We're literally just about to see it now. It's really well done. A really cool
basically
effect.
Just two actors almost drowning in costumes.
Yeah,
struggling to stay alive.
You can tell in this shot, if you look closely, see under the armpit, you can see the suit falling apart. Yeah, there's
wiggling it so hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of extraneous movement in the water. It just deteriorated the shit out of the suit. See, you can see the armpits coming undone. Like, it's just falling apart. You can see all the white splotches and stuff where the suit's coming away at the neck.
Yeah.
So one downside is the suit really didn't take well to the water in this film. Again, I don't think they planned to put this suit in the water, right? The last one, there was no water scenes. And this is supposed to be a Kong film, so they really weren't planning on putting this suit in the water. But I like this underwater shot here. So they're fighting underwater and they literally just have it's them. I think how they did it is it's a backdrop behind them of an actual aquarium and they're fighting in front of it. And then they have a filter. So it looks like the water's reflecting. So they're still underwater, but the actors are obviously not underwater because that would be very dangerous. I think that's how they got the shot.
I could see that.
Which is pretty impressive because it looks really good. For the shots underwater.
My friend.
Yeah. Godzilla's like, yeah, bitch, you stay down. See how quick and over with that was? Like, Ebirah had no chance. No chance whatsoever. So now they just have to figure out how to stop the red bamboo and get all these the native folk from Infant Island back home.
You just gotta pee.
Just gotta pee. I love how he's drawing in the sand. Like, the fuck? How do they even know the layout of the freaking island? I mean, they have been there for 3 days. I guess that kind of.
I was just to say, I'm like, they've been walking around for 3 days trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
And considering he's a thief, the guy's probably proactive with like visualizing his surroundings and areas. That probably makes a lot of sense.
God, think, Lucas, think.
I know. How dare I? But you know what? For this being the first film that Jun Fukuda directed, it's pretty good. I would have been a lot more disappointed if the first film he did was the next film, Son of Godzilla. By the way, people, don't take my hate for Son of Godzilla at all. I actually really love Son of Godzilla. It very much changes pace and goes in a different direction from the rest of the movies. It's very much its own standoff thing. I still like it. It's definitely not my least favorite. We all know All Monsters Attack is the worst film ever, Godzilla's Revenge. which takes a lot of stock footage from Son of Godzilla, but Son of Godzilla on its own is still a decent film. It's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's actually a pretty good time if you walk into it with an open mind. But I would have been upset and a little worried if that was his first film coming into the series. After watching that, I'd be like, oh, I don't know with these future movies. Because if they're all like that one. But the fact that he does Ebirah and then he does that one next and then does Gigan after that, he kind of redeems himself. I know Godzilla versus Gigan and Megalon are known as some of the cheesier entries in the Showa film, but in the Showa series, but I like them for their cheesiness and I have a lot of nostalgic reasons and love for those two films. So in a way, I kind of very much like this film too, because it definitely has that feel that he does have with all of his movies he directs. But you can even tell his notable work is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, because that was the big cash bring in for the Showa film. And that's what really turned the series around. Because at that time, they were like, oh, you know, we're probably going to run out of steam and run out of movies soon. And Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla did so well that they were like, yeah, this in the next movie, and then we can probably stop making Godzilla films because this is a good way to end it on good terms.
Or try to.
Yeah, and we all know it didn't actually end. They just had a hiatus and then came back with my favorite series, the Heisei series, which I can't wait to get to.
Yeah, it's hearsay. Heisei. Yeah.
Heisei.
Hearsay.
Yeah. And by the way, people, for those who don't know, the reason they're called the Showa, the Heisei era, and stuff like that is because it's just judged on who ruled at that time in Japan. That's basically what that's based around for their emperor. That's what that's based around, Showa or the Heisei.
I knew that.
Intelligence.
I was kidding. I didn't know that. I learned something. Fun facts with Lucas.
Yeah, because so Heisei is the period of Japanese history corresponding to the reign of Emperor Akihito from 8th of January 1989 to his abdication April 30th, 2019. So that's the Heisei era of Japan. So it's not just the Godzilla, it's the Heisei era in general of Japan, but it's related to the Godzilla films because those are the films that came out during that time period. Run! So now all of our protagonists have met up again. They all find each other, and then the red bamboo comes to find them, and they're like, okay, split up. They all finally find each other, and then they have to split up again. I feel like at this point, the film's done everything it needs to do, and now they're just kind of stretching it to really fill the runtime.
Oh, definitely.
So,
just giving us a conclusion of the story that we didn't want.
Too bad they ran into the big G. Here's a really good, you can see on his chest, see how it looks really smooth. It doesn't look as rigid. You can see where the suit's starting to flatten. Yeah, it's the water deteriorating away at the suit. Here's where it's the obvious giveaway that this was meant to be a Kong film, people. Godzilla has a love interest. This is the biggest giveaway. Look at the way he's looking at her. He's like, that's a snack, but not in that way. Hey, but good for her. I mean, like, I know you can twist it too and say like, oh, but she's one of Mothra's people, so maybe he senses that and senses the the care for kaijus and the protector, and like that's what he senses. But like, yeah, you can say that, guys, but this is meant to be a Kong film. Like, look at, and then when he sits down here and he like looks at her, like he like sits and does like a squat,
just chilling with the homie.
You gotta pick your battles. Exactly. Just wait. Maybe the big G isn't so mean after all, guys. At this point, she's like probably faking dead, right? So he won't attack her. Then he realizes that that's not his intentions.
They're all just staring at him.
It's like they're staring at him. Godzilla's staring at her. She's staring at them. It's like a three-way stare off. Oh, and here come back the red bamboo again with their boat. Probably delivering more prisoners. See, now he's just chilling with the girl. This is where it's very obviously a Kong film. Where it's like they didn't bother to change this scene. They literally just said, yeah, no, we'll just put Godzilla in there. It'll be fine. People won't ask questions. Hey, guess what? I'm asking questions.
We need to know.
I need to know now. But you know what, for better or for worse, so I'm glad that
He's a
they
sleepy
made this
boy.
a Godzilla one, not a Kong movie, because God knows what we would have gotten instead, or if it would have just been straight to Son of Godzilla, and that could have really hurt the franchise coming off of the last film being so good. Like after we watch Son of Godzilla, just look, I'll ask you at the end of the next series, of the next movie, we'll be like, how would you feel if we went from Invasion of Astro Monster to this? How disappointed you would have been. At least this one's kind of still serious with a little bit of new elements, and then still kind of quirky, but also still good. But Son of Godzilla is very, very different. It's like very, very opposite side of the spectrum. Oh, it comes one of the worst fight scenes in the entire Godzilla series. So this giant condor, this giant bird flies in to attack Godzilla. And it's like, it's a cool idea. Why not use Rodan? I don't know. Use a condor instead. And it just scratches, and it's all these really quick cuts in it. It literally makes me sick watching. I remember the first time I watched this, I had to pause and like look away for a minute because I was going to throw up.
No, you can't hurt the boy.
Which is a shame, because I like the quick cuts. It makes it look like very chaotic, but it's too many quick cuts. It just looks almost like nonsense, and it makes me sick.
He's just slapping him.
Yeah. Slap, slap, slappity, slap. He's going buck wild. Poor Godzilla. He's like, I was just trying to nap. I had to get up and kill a shrimp. Now I'm getting attacked by Big Bird here. I'm not even getting royalty from Sesame Street. Like, what am I doing here? And he has the suck it. I love it. Godzilla does that a lot from these movies forward. I wonder if it was something that Fukuda wanted him to do. He just like rubs his nose.
It's got an itch.
God, it's so weird. And then he just sits back down again. I love it, but goddamn, is it just weird. But I wonder when Godzilla does the suck it thing where he like smacks his legs, kind of like, what was the wrestler like DX when they do like the X on their laps?
Yep.
Like that's what it reminds me of. I wonder if that was something that Fukuda liked. So he does in all his films, he makes Godzilla do it when he gets a victory.
Oh yeah, I guarantee he loves Degeneration X.
Yeah.
Big fan before it came out. Exactly. Big fan.
Then it's okay. It's a lot better than I think it's Godzilla versus Hedorah, when they have that one's done by Bono. That's a different director, but when he's fighting Hedorah, he does the Ultraman like light beam pose with his arms, and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't Ultraman.
I didn't know you two made a Godzilla movie.
Bono, Jesus
the music.
Christ. I know. Literally, I want this soundtrack. If there was any like Godzilla soundtrack I'd want on vinyl, it would be this one. This
or
the
Mothra song.
Yeah, this or honestly, Godzilla versus Hedorah. It's got a really silly soundtrack to it. I love it. You can see a couple times in the show era they try and switch things up and change Godzilla's theme, but it always goes back to the original. They're like, yeah, we made a mistake. We'll go back. God, see, he had to attack a bird, kill a shrimp. Now he's getting bombed by people. He's like, God, I just wanted to nap. He bitches electrocuting me. That's a cool shot. When he catches the jet. That's dope. But see, very Kong-like. Kong fighting airplanes, right?
You just really don't like King Kong, eh?
But just saying, it's just lazy that this was they didn't change like any of the story. Like they just like literally took the storyboard, they erased Kong's face and put Godzilla's face.
Well, I mean, the scenario is kind of universal. If anything, they should have just kept out the love interest and you would be fine. Like we've seen Godzilla fight airplanes hundreds of times, not literally hundreds, but tons of times so far.
Yeah, I guess just like the few things like the girl love interest and the lightning and stuff, just the way things line up, if it just extra drives the nail in,
Like there's a few things that they definitely could have left out or come up with a different way for it to happen. Like they easily TNT to wake him up or something, like an explosive.
Yeah.
No love interest.
When they kick the rock, and it hits him, that could have woke him up. I mean, I know that wouldn't have woke him up. The guy's literally like missile proof. Oh, you can see on the arm on his elbow, the flakes of the suit coming off. Damn shame.
It's a shame. Real shame.
But now he knows where the base is. So, I mean, it was smart waking up because now he's just going to wreck house and destroy Red Bamboo. So not only are they going to be able to get away, but they stopped them from continuing their work and harming anybody else. So in a way, Godzilla is the hero of this story.
I mean, you got to remember though, who's the captain of Red Bamboo over here?
Oh
Eye
yeah.
Patch Man. Who defeated Godzilla the first movie? Eye Patch Man. Logic.
He sees the guy with the eye patch. He's like, hey, I know that asshole.
I remember you.
He killed my past self. He killed my brother.
Godzilla looks like a platypus, apparently.
Yeah, I can see that.
When he's like twirling around.
Just starts throwing rocks at the buildings. I mean, yeah, I guess, but you have atomic breath, bro.
He loves his rock fights.
I know.
Yeah, everyone should bail. Stop peeing and just bail.
Yeah, like, you guys, the place is under attack. Why are you still working? Get the hell out of there. Oh, I guess they're being held there. I guess.
Fuck any job. I'm just like, oh, the light bulb went out. Can I go home now?
Yeah. Oh, guys, insufficient lighting in here. I guess I'll have to go home. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'll come back tomorrow when it's safe too. Godzilla's destroying their workplace and they're still just working away.
Yeah. Hard workers.
They should have hard jobs, apparently.
They're essential workers. They have to keep working.
It's essential that you work.
So they're screwed. I mean, it's scary too, because there's a nuclear reactor on this place and Godzilla's wrecking house, which is probably why he's attracted to it, because, you know, Godzilla feeds off nuclear energy. So he don't care. He's wrecking house.
Pow.
Yeah, we're running down to like the last 16 minutes. So this is like the true like come down of the film. We're getting near the end here. So this is where everything's going to start drawing conclusions and getting put together.
So is that it for the fight with the little lobster man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ebirah's done. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was bullshit.
I believe.
Oh,
like, no.
That was like a minute.
Sorry. Ebirah is still around. Yeah. I believe there's still fights with Ebirah. That's my apologies. He's still there. Because they still have to, because remember they made the fake batch of that stuff. So when they try and escape the island, I believe they get pwned by Ebirah. So I think Ebirah is still alive yet. There's still another fight. My apologies.
You're a liar.
We still have one more giant crustacean to fry. Yeah, so they grab the barrels. They're like, yeah, we're getting out of here and we're leaving all you losers to die.
It's barrels of pee.
But they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they realize that that's not the stuff they want. That's a really smart move on their part, though. Like, it is a really smart play. Because what would make them think that they thought of doing that, right?
Now they just got to try and figure out how to escape.
Like, we got to get the hell out of here. They're like, run.
Yeah, lock picker man.
He's the guy you want. He's going to get you out of there. For the longest time, I tried to point it. I got to take a better look and find it. For anyone who's watching this and knows, please send us a message at us with a timestamp or let us know. But one of the infant islanders is actually portrayed by Nakajima, who is the guy in the Godzilla suit. So he actually just like as an extra, he's one of the islanders. So I don't know if he's one of the islanders here or if he was on the actual island, but one of them, Nakajima, is playing him. So he actually you get to see his face.
Yeah, you probably got bored in between filming, right? Like if Godzilla isn't even going to be seen, you may as well.
Yeah. Like I know what he looks like. Guy's got the biggest smile.
Just happy to be there.
Yeah. Oh, Nakajima's a legend. Bless his soul. A pure legend. Oh, all that beautiful set work destroyed. There goes the Star Trek set. Oh, actually, maybe this is where they got all the pieces. They just bought all the pieces and made their Star Trek sets out of these.
Low key, I could see it, especially because it's all yellow, blue, and red.
Yeah. So the island will be wiped from the face of the earth. The countdown's begun. Oh boy. Yeah, so you guys gotta get the hell off this island. So they've pretty much armed the bomb, so the whole island's gonna detonate and blow up. Oh, come on, he could totally reach that. His hand is above
100%.
it. And then it moves down. He goes to get it and they move it down. Like what?
This looks like he can reach it. Move it. Move it.
Yeah, literally on the scene. They're like, oh, guys, that looks a little unbelievable. We'll move it down a bit.
Instead of re-recording, they just left it.
Oh, here we go. So they're clearing out now. And they're like, ha. And they start spraying the liquid. But as we know, they replaced that liquid with the fake batch. So that liquid's not going to work. So Big Lobster Boy's not going to be too happy about that. That's a nice touch there. He steps on the pipe and you see the dirty water and the oil spraying out of the pipes. It's a nice little touch.
Poo.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all the waste.
Their waste
pipes. It's all gonna go somewhere. Just the poop though, because we know where the pee goes.
In the water.
Into Ebirah's delicious lobstery lips.
Ew. Salty.
Like, go make a giant net. Hurry. Mothra's gonna come save everybody. See, this is where he tells them it's a batch of phony liquid. So they think they're safe. I mean, honestly, I like this way. I like how this is how they get taken out, because it's like, you know, you get their just desserts. They used him as a weapon, but now they're going to feel the wrath of what they've been using the whole time.
They're just spraying pee into the water.
Yeah. Boom. I like the way that model breaks too. It actually looks like a real boat. It's nice. Yeah. You see, that's the one nice thing. The saving grace. The story might be a little off, but the saving grace is the special effects. Just phenomenally done. All right, here we go. Round 2. Godzilla versus the shrimp. Let's go. I mean, in what world did we ever look at Ebirah and be like, oh, yeah, he's got a chance against Godzilla? Are you joking me? Yeah. How could I even... I can't believe I forgot about the second fight. It has the legendary move that I love about this film. I'll leave that to surprise. I'll wait till this guy. Yo, he's the CEO of Red Lobster. What are you saying?
Who's the dude that owns Facebook?
Yeah.
That's him. That's Tom or
Ebirah
whatever.
Oh no, Ebirah Zuckerberg.
Oh, they're dancing. Dun, 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 dun.
I know the way they're flailing around to this soundtrack. It just looks like they're having a dance off to the dance marathon from earlier. Whoa! Smacks him in the head a couple times. Gives him a couple good whacks. They're still trying to get to the detonator here. It's not going to work. It keeps moving down. Oh, maybe that's part of it. It just, as it counts down, it moves lower and lower. Reach. Come on, grab it, turn to the right. He's not even attempting to grab it. He's just reaching his hand out. Ah. It keeps retracting. As it counts down, yeah, less than 30 minutes left. I would just get the hell out of there. Start swimming. I mean, where are you going to go? Infant Island couldn't have been that far. Just swim to Infant Island. Oh, underwater scene again. Yeah, I do like these underwater fights. They look really good. Well, they don't look amazing, but they look really cool. Like for the time and what they had to use, it looks pretty damn good. Plus, the way that when they over crank the film, it slows the monsters down. So it looks better when they're underwater because everything moves slower in the water anyway.
Maybe they put like a blue tarp over top of them and then shine the light down so it looks like water kind of moving.
Oh, you know what? That could be it. That's actually
just like looking at it and
be
like, imagine if you were like under a tent of blue, right? Like it would look like the little kind of movement with the wind.
Yeah. Come on, Mothra. Save the day, girl. We need you. You're part of this movie and you haven't done anything the whole time. Earn your keep, bitch. Let's go. You're the savior of the world, and yet you're sitting there like an old bitch. Let's go. Man, look how ragged that Mothra looks, though. Can we just talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why Mothra didn't have a main appearance in this movie, because the Mothra they had was so old and ragged from sitting on the shelf for so long that they're like, yeah, we can't really use her because she'd fall apart, and we can't afford to make another one yet. So
We don't want to pay guys to make this move.
Yeah.
Are you high?
Because Mothra doesn't appear for a long time after this. The only time she ever appears after this, she's in larva form. So
the turd form.
They probably didn't have the money to make another Mothra, so they just always used the larva form. Because Mothra comes back in Destroy All Monsters. What other one is she in? After this, not in Son of Godzilla, not in Destroy All Monsters as old larva form she is. She's not in Hedorah or Gigan or Megalon. Yeah,
damn, no. These fuckers can make a boat real quick.
This is the last appearance of second form Mothra. This is the last we'll get of Mothra. Mothra's only in the Show Us series one more time after this.
Weird.
And it's in larva form, so
I'd expect it to be more since it was more of a value character, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what we do get though is we get a lot more new monsters. Like we get like tons of new monsters with the coming films, so we get like, especially the next one, we get a ton of new different kaijus and villains and different like creatures. And then later on in the series, like we get Destroy All Monsters has pretty much all the monsters that have been used so far all together. And then in Hedorah, Gigan, and Megalon, and Mechagodzilla, like those are all new monsters alone. And then there's like, those are 2 monster matches up. So there's like, in Godzilla versus Gigan, I think we get King Ghidorah again. And then that's about it. The rest of the monsters we get are new monsters.
If I was Mothra, I wouldn't want to watch these assholes just dance around all the time. I'd be so bored of it.
See, once they stop, she moves. She's like, good, you finally shut up. Now I'll do what you want.
Finally.
And that's the first movement we get of Mothra there. Come on, Mothra, you got this, girl. Go save the day. Oh, that's getting real close to detonating, and she's still not doing nothing. There she goes. Come on, you got 6 minutes, Mothra. Go save the day. You can do it. Oh, yeah. Bites him right by the claw. Which is where we get a really cool Godzilla finishing move. Because in the other movies, like when Godzilla fights another creature, like we never really see him like full out kill. You know what I mean? Like we see him defeat and then the monster scurries off or something.
Yeah, they always run away.
Yeah, and this one, look at, oh, he rips his claw right off. And then it's just the little peg arm flopping around. Brutal. He rips both of his arms off. So brutal.
He's gonna use it for a lobster roll after.
I love that he rips his arm off and then he like clamps it together. He's like, I've got your hand, bitch. And then we get Mothra, first appearance. Mothra is literally only in it for the last 10 minutes. But yet she's like a main character in the title. That's why I like the Ebirah Horror of the Deep name better than the Godzilla, Mothra, and Ebirah Battle in the South Ocean or whatever the other title was there. That's why this one works better, because Mothra's barely in it. That's a rough Mothra shot. Oh, and now back comes Godzilla. He's going to pick a fight with Mothra. But luckily, Mothra's coming to save all of her people. See, this is why I think that Mothra and King Kong would be a good matchup. I hope one day they get to be in the same film because they're both protectors of Earth. They both have that care for nature. Like I think they would make a good team.
They're trying. They just like the nature.
But I also think Kong would just be like, food, and then just like take a bite out of her. So
snack.
Godzilla's pissed. I wonder what they're saying right now. I'm like, get off my island, bitch. And she's like, I'm protecting these people. He's like, if you don't get off this island, I'm going to tail whip you, son. Oh, yep. Atomic blast at Mothra. There you go. You showed what was up. And then she's using her wind powers to kind of push him over there. Meanwhile, these guys are trying to make this like carrying cage to put everyone in. And then Mothra's going to pick it up and carry them to safety, apparently. I thought
they were trying to make a boat. I was
No,
completely convinced that they were trying to make a floaty boat.
they're making a giant net, essentially. I think they're going to try and get Mothra to pick them up. Yeah, hang on tight. Don't get thrown out.
Slap.
Mothra just bitch slaps Godzilla and then pieces out. Hey, there you go. She got what needs to be done. Knocked him out long enough to get away to save the people. And then she picks them up. And away she goes. And now Godzilla's like, so you woke me up to play. You made me fight all these monsters and do all this bullshit. And then you just leave me here alone with a nuclear bomb. Like, I really got the shit under the stick here, didn't I?
Yep.
He's like, this is what I get for starring in a movie that wasn't meant to be mine.
See, even they were like, I feel bad for Godzilla because now he's just gonna like,
yep.
What do I do?
They're like, run for it. He'll be safe in the water. Run, bitch, run. Run, Forrest. I do love the ending here. It's almost like an action movie.
What they do he's gonna run off the cliff and jump in and just do a little divey poo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
And then you have the beeping of the bomb in the background. A jumping explosion. This is great. This is another really funny gif. You often get it when you look at the drop kick memes, if you've ever seen those. For those who are watching, you get this one a lot too if you've seen it. Beep, 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 beep. He's like, oh no, it's gonna blow. Jump. And this is when we get the legendary Godzilla cannonball. Yeet. Parkour. Awesome. Legendary. Boom. And the explosion wasn't even that big. He probably could have stayed on the island.
Yeah, that one side, he definitely could have.
Yeah. It's not like the radiation would have hurt him at all. Boom. And then just like all of the rock slides falling into the water. At that point, you thought it would have buried him because he didn't jump that far away from the island. But he still got away.
Probably swam pretty quickly.
And everyone got away safely in Mothra's arms. God knows how they got back to land, though. They only get to go back to Infant Island. And then they lived happily ever after on Infant Island. Not like they wouldn't miss their homeland at all. But not the end of atomic bombs. They got to have some kind of leeway or kind of main story or main what's the word looking for?
When will
main
the
plot.
humans learn?
Yeah, where's the hidden message? All this nuclear atomic power is destroying the earth, and this is what we get for it. There's the hidden message. And there you see Godzilla swimming away, so you know he made it away okay.
Well, no shit.
And the island is now nothing. And Mothra flying away safely back to Infant Island, but as you can see, there's no basket, so did she drop them?
Oh shit, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they dropped them off at home.
These.
Dropped them off at home.
The end.
Toho.
Toho.
The end.
There it is. What did you think about that one, Josh?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's silly, eh? It's not the best, but like I said, where it shines is it's the way it's filmed and like the colors and the fact that it's a little different. It has some different kind of character stereotypes and different types of characters we get. So I like that side of things. But Ebirah overall as a monster is kind of silly, and just to further prove that, Ebirah is not in another Godzilla movie until Final Wars. So not until the 2009, I think Final Wars came out. So obviously it couldn't have been that popular of a monster because they put him on the shelf for that long. So he doesn't get a lot of love, but I thought he was an okay creation. I think he would have got a little more love if he fought Kong, but putting him up against Godzilla was kind of unfair considering he just had a lobster dinner.
They should have just boiled the lobster guy.
Yeah. I mean, he ripped off the claws. He probably ate them afterwards, just slurped all the goodness out.
Trapped him in like Niagara Falls and just like flooded it.
Oh, it's a classic. Alrighty, folks. So that's where we wind down for this fantastic 9th episode of the Killer Kaiju podcast. As always, you can contact us through our Gmail at killerkaijupodcast@gmail.com if you have any other future movies or cool fun facts you want us to know or feature on the show. And you can always message us at our Twitter or Facebook as well.
Buy our merch.
Yeah. Buy our stuff. If
so
you
we
love
can
us,
afford stickers.
You buy our stuff, we buy you stuff.
Exactly. That's how it works.
You give to us, we give back to you. But no, but seriously, guys, so for the next episode, the next one, we have a really interesting episode. So if you were a little kind of bored with this one, don't worry. The next one's super interesting because we get to see Godzilla become a dad. Oof. So that's your hype for the next one. So until then, guys, just keep that on your mind and keep thinking about what that's going to be like.
Strong single dad.
Yeah, make him do with what he's got. It's actually a really cute story. It's actually kind of funny, but it's not the best story. But we have some reoccurring characters we'll see in the future.
Story of Godzilla raising his child independently in a hard world.
Anyone who's a parent will definitely relate with Godzilla in that film, that's for sure. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until the next time, stay safe, enjoy yourself, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.